All right. Hello, everybody. Hope you had a good weekend. Just making sure I'm not muted. All right. I hope you had a great weekend. Today is the 4th of September, 2023. I'm your host, Philip Cripe. This is Hashed Out Daily Crypto News with Cryptopolitan. We're going to go over everything that happened during the weekend that is publicly known about the cryptosphere. And we're going to start out with the FBI and GCHQ issue a joint advisory on Russian malware targeting crypto wallets. Start with something that everybody's always happy about. Let's talk about malware and hacks and all that sort of thing. Yeah, this image pretty much sums it up. It looks like Moscow's on fire in the image with an angry guy in the front with a hoodie and dark features. Just a spooky dude. A joint advisory from the FBI, NSA, CISA, and the UK's NCSC has warned about a new malware called Infamous Chisel, linked to Russia's GRU military intelligence agency that targets cryptocurrency wallets and exchange apps on Android devices. The malware specifically seeks out directories related to popular crypto applications like Brave, Binance, Coinbase, and the Trust crypto wallet, as well as communication platforms Telegram and Discord. It also targets the Android key store system for storing private keys. Despite its low to medium sophistication and lack of stealth techniques, the malware poses a significant threat to digital assets, especially as it comes at a time when cybercriminals are increasingly targeting valuable digital assets, including cryptocurrencies. That's a lot of agencies to agree on something. That's pretty rare. The malware has been linked to a hacking unit within Russia's GRU military intelligence agency known as Sandworm. Sandworm has previously targeted the Ukrainian military. Infamous Chisel is engineered to compromise Android devices, providing continuous access via the Tor network. Once installed, the malware periodically gathers and transmits data from the affected devices. The advisory report indicates that the malware is part of a broader campaign to target financial assets, including cryptocurrencies. I guess they're not doing so well with cash right now. Infamous Chisel is not indiscriminate in its approach. It specifically searches for directories related to popular cryptocurrency applications such as Brave, Binance, Coinbase, and the Trust crypto wallet. Additionally, it targets communication platforms like Telegram and Discord. The malware also aims at the Android key store system. So, despite its potentially devastating impact, the components used by Infamous Chisel are of low to medium sophistication and lack basic obfuscation or stealth techniques. This suggests that the actors behind the malware may not deem such concealment necessary, given that many Android devices lack a host-based detection system. The advisory comes at a time when digital assets are becoming increasingly valuable, attracting the attention of cybercriminals. Last month, security researchers issued warnings about malware aimed at stealing Apple users' crypto assets through fake blockchain games. In addition, nearly $1 billion has been lost to scams, hacks, and exploits in 2023. Hi, Atoll12, LalaLand777. Nice to have you guys with us. Happy Monday. Robinhood repurchases $605 million worth of shares from Sam Bankman-Fried's Emergent Fidelity Technologies. Continuing the crazy stuff. Robinhood buys back $605 million in shares from Sam Bankman-Fried's bankrupt company, Emergent Fidelity Technologies. The buyback occurs as Sam Bankman-Fried prepares for a trial in October with a costly defense team of expert witnesses. The share repurchase agreement received approval from the U.S. District Court for the Southern District Court of New York on August the 28th, according to a filing with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, dated August 30th. The share buyback involved Robinhood repurchasing over 55 million shares from the United States Marshal Service, which acted on behalf of the government. Each share was priced at $10.96. Robinhood's chief financial officer, Jason Warnick, expressed satisfaction with the completion of the share purchase, stating that the company looks forward to executing its growth plans for the benefit of its customers and shareholders. So, Emergent Fidelity Technologies initially acquired Robinhood shares in May 2022, but filed for bankruptcy in February this year. Robinhood had disclosed its intent to buy back the shares earlier in the year during its fourth quarter earnings call. At that time, the board of directors had authorized the company to pursue purchasing most or all of the 55 million remaining Robinhood shares. So they bought the shares back from Fidelity. Interesting. That should help pay for a lot of Fidelity's bankruptcy issues. And $605 million is nothing to sneeze at. Hi, Pranab007. Prabhasam. Nice to have you guys with us. Colorado Division of Motor Vehicles, or DMV, partners with PayPal to accept crypto as a form of payment. Now we're starting to see the effects of PayPal USD. The Colorado Division of Motor Vehicles has become the first government agency in the state to accept cryptocurrency as payment for online services like driver's licenses and vehicle registrations. To enable this, the DMV has partnered with PayPal, which will handle the cryptocurrency transactions by converting digital assets into dollars. A service fee will be applied for using this payment method. That's fascinating. That's a big move for crypto use in the US to being like regular. China court affirms the legal status of virtual assets. A people's court in China has affirmed that virtual assets are legal despite a crypto ban. Evolving crypto landscape in China. Virtual assets are considered as properties. So, yeah, there's still... The government initiated a blanket ban on all crypto-related activities and prohibited foreign crypto exchanges from offering services to mainland customers. This is a while ago already. But it's interesting that virtual assets are now considered just basic property. The acknowledgement marked a... Wait. However, Chinese courts have adopted a somewhat contrasting stance towards Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in recent years. This contrast became evident in September 2022 when a legal expert suggested that Chinese crypto holders could seek legal protection in cases of theft, misappropriation, or breach of loan agreements, despite the overarching crypto ban. A significant milestone was reached in May 2022 when a Shanghai court officially recognized Bitcoin as virtual property, thereby subjecting it to property rights. So it's not a security, it's property. It's not a cryptocurrency, apparently. Bitcoin is a digital asset in China. This makes no sense. Maybe a little, depending on how you look at it. But Bitcoin is the original cryptocurrency, right? So if not the original, but like the big one that got everything going. So if you ban crypto but you allow Bitcoin, I don't know. It's a strange stance. There's something going on here. The acknowledgement marked the departure from the traditional view that cryptocurrencies were devoid of legal recognition. China's evolving stance on cryptocurrencies is noteworthy, particularly when considering its historical hostility. While the blanket ban initially caused a sharp decline in China's Bitcoin mining activities, with the country's mining share dropping to zero, a surprising resurgence followed. Within a year, China managed to reclaim its position as the second largest Bitcoin mining hub globally, behind the US. The shift in Bitcoin mining activity highlights a potential softening of the Chinese government's stance on cryptocurrencies. It suggests that despite the overarching ban on digital assets, there may be room for nuanced interpretations and applications within the legal system. So this reaffirms the legal status of virtual assets within the country's legal framework. It's significant for the crypto landscape in China. United States regulator denies blocking AI chip exports to the Middle East. The United States Department of Commerce has refuted claims about chip exports to the Middle East. International response to export controls. Which countries are complaining? The Middle East is pretty broad. It's like everything between like Afghanistan and the Mediterranean. So The United States Department of Commerce, in an announcement on August 31st, clarified that the Biden administration has not imposed restrictions on chip sales to the Middle East. This statement comes in response to recent revelations in an NVIDIA report indicating that the United States government had expanded the requirements for export licenses related to artificial intelligence chips. A similar letter from regulators was also received by Advanced Micro Devices, a direct competitor of NVIDIA. While the Department of Commerce did not specify which U.S. companies might be affected by these requirements, it was disclosed that the new rules would necessitate NVIDIA and AMD to secure licenses before selling their flagship chips to certain Middle Eastern countries, as detailed in the filing. I'm looking for a list of countries in this article. I'm seeing European countries, but I don't see. Shortly after the initial U.S. regulations took effect, agreements were forged with the Netherlands and Japan to restrict the export of semiconductor manufacturing equipment to China. The United Kingdom, France, and Germany have openly stated their consideration of screening Chinese foreign direct investment in critical sectors like AI. Yeah, there's a lot going on here as far as the Chinese thing, but I don't see much about the Middle East. I don't have a clear indication of which countries are involved, but I would guess like Iran and probably Saudi Arabia, actually. Hello, Milan users 3C6E0. Nice to have you with us. USDT embroiled in depeg rumors amid stability concerns. Geico researchers have claimed that USDT has been facing stability issues since August. Proposed solutions for USDT stability. Various factors can lead to deviations from this peg. We know that. Proposed solutions for USDT's stability. The presence of a redemption fee and minimum requirements for redeeming USDT for USD means that it can be more rational for USDT holders to sell the token on the market rather than redeem it with Tether. Over time, this has led to a decrease in liquidity, making the market less capable of absorbing a significant USDT selling. While the price deviations for USDT have not been huge in absolute terms, the consistent discount is a cause for concern and could erode trust in the stablecoin if it continues. Users and investors expect stablecoins to maintain their pegged value, and any deviations may lead to skepticism in the market. Yeah, we know that. Currently, Tether charges a 0.1% fee for fiat withdrawals over $1,000, meaning that USDT is redeemable at $0.99, with the minimum fiat withdrawal or deposit set at $100,000. Additionally, users are required to pay a non-refundable verification fee of $150, aimed at ensuring that only serious individuals establish accounts with Tether. The recent depegging incidents of USDT in August raised concerns about the stability and trustworthiness of the cryptocurrency. While other stablecoins have also faced minor depegging events, USDT's consistent discount relative to its peg is a cause for concern. The suggestion to remove the redemption fee and minimum requirements could be a viable solution to improve USDT stability. These developments highlight the importance of maintaining the peg of stablecoins, which play a crucial role in the broader cryptocurrency ecosystem. Usually used to buy and sell other cryptocurrencies that aren't stablecoins. UK's travel rule enacted, crypto industry in trouble. The UK has enforced the travel rule for cryptocurrency starting September 1st. Crypto firms in the UK must now gather, verify, and share specifics linked to crypto transfers. The rule mandates a risk-based assessment for funds from regions not following the travel rule. So let's make sure we understand this. For the uninitiated, this rule mandates virtual asset service providers locally located within the UK to gather, cross-check, and divulge specifics linked to crypto transfers. In layman terms, if you're a crypto firm in the UK, you're now on the hook for a whole lot more paperwork and diligence. Here's the kicker. If funds roll in from an international entity or individual, especially from a region not complying with the travel rule, then the virtual asset service provider in the UK has a new job, they have to conduct a risk-based assessment. This isn't just a fancy term. It determines if these crypto assets should be unlocked for the intended recipient. And mind you, this isn't just about incoming funds. The Brits looking to wire crypto payments outside the UK, they're in the same boat facing the same scrutiny. Just to make sure that everything is fine. The inception of the travel rule isn't a random regulatory whim. It's a brainchild of the UN-affiliated Financial Action Task Force, FATF, birthed in June 2019. The UK just jumped on board enacting legislation to enforce this rule in July 2022. So it's about anti-money laundering and all that sort of thing. Countries like the US, Germany, Japan, and Singapore have already stepped into this regulation system. So shouldn't be as hard for those countries to send money to each other. Binance Australia's head is optimistic about crypto regulation. Ben Rose, Binance Australia's general manager, is optimistic about the future of crypto regulations in Australia despite current challenges. Binance Australia faced issues when traditional banking entities pulled their support, citing concerns over scams and frauds. The exchange is focused on restoring its banking ties and reintroducing fiat ramp services for its Australian users. Good luck. IBM reveals key steps for successful digital euro implementation. Digital transformation takes center stage in Europe, with the conversation heating up around the digital euro. With numerous financial juggernauts weighing in on its success, IBM's distinctive voice provides a roadmap. By merging traditional strategies with forward thinking, IBM addresses the challenge of introducing the digital euro to a diverse, ever-evolving financial ecosystem. So they'll build on familiar foundations, leverage intermediaries, and innovating privacy, decentralized technology with central oversight, and a gradual rollout approach, which I think is what we've seen with every CBDC so far. UBS's Credit Suisse rescue, the insane deal that broke records. If you had told me a few months ago that UBS would pull off one of the most audacious deals in banking history, I might have laughed, but here we are. When UBS, Europe's now second most valuable bank, decided to swoop in and save the drowning Credit Suisse, many eyebrows shot up in surprise. Today, that daring move has made banking aficionados like me do a double take. Let's lay down the staggering numbers. UBS announced a jaw-dropping $29 billion gain from this state-sponsored takeover. That's not just any profit, it's a record-breaking quarterly profit for any bank on this side of the Atlantic. While UBS executives celebrate in their lavish boardrooms, one must wonder what was going through their minds when they opted to salvage a scandal-stricken Credit Suisse, especially when initial hesitations were more than evident. This gamble has propelled UBS to a market value that has effortlessly surpassed BNP Paribas and even the American heavyweight Citigroup. Sergio Ermotti, the man helming UBS, couldn't hide his excitement, hinting that the Credit Suisse acquisition would turbocharge their future plans. It's actually crazy the more I look into this situation, how well it went for UBS. I didn't expect that either. Hi, Money Ruzaman, 1998, and Bobby A1. Nice to have you guys with us. Ripple pushback. Legal team makes move against SEC's appeal. Ripple's legal team contests the SEC's reasons for an appeal, suggesting they're based on mere dissatisfaction over a judgment. The SEC's appeal revolves around the argument that Ripple's XRP doesn't qualify as a security for retail sales. Ripple points out the SEC's failure to meet the required standards for a stay and receives support from individual defendants in the case. So we'll see how that goes, how that's taken by the judge and whatnot. The dangerous consequences of China's absence at the G20. China's President Xi Jinping chooses not to attend the upcoming G20 summit in India. The move can be seen as a strategic sidestep or a snub, causing ripples in global diplomacy. Historically, the country has never missed a G20 summit, making this absence significant. Rising tensions and uncertainty in the global arena. When Western officials learned that President Xi Jinping wouldn't grace the G20 summit with his presence, it felt like the culmination of a year's worth of resistance from China. Instead, they'll be dealing with Premier Li Qiang. Yet even this move has been ambiguously communicated, leaving many countries in the dark about China's intentions. The G20 has historically served as the principal global leadership forum, bringing together world powers to navigate complex economic and social issues. The absence of China's top figure potentially jeopardizes the G20's clout, especially since the organization has already struggled to build a consensus on pressing matters like healthcare and climate change. Much of this deadlock arises from the Ukraine conflict and the resulting tensions between member nations. It's not a Ukraine conflict, it's a Russian invasion of Ukraine. There is speculation, especially amongst Indian analysts, that China's decision is a calculated tactic to overshadow India's presidency at the summit. I've also been thinking about that. Given the existing border tensions between those two nations, such a hypothesis isn't entirely outlandish. Historically, no Chinese president has ever bypassed a G20 summit. Furthermore, as world powers debate global financial issues, the question lingers: how impactful will G20 decisions be without China's stamp of approval? Probably huge, because China depends on everybody else. Because who are their clients? Everybody else. Their internal market isn't as important for their wealth as their foreign market, even today, even as an emerging market. That's why their economy is going down, is as they threaten to expand to other countries around them. Countries further away aren't buying their stuff as much, their produce, their production. So they overproduced, which is putting them in deflation because they have more products than they can sell. So prices are going down, but even their own market doesn't want to buy. Cambridge University study sheds new light on Bitcoin mining's environmental impact. We'll see what's going on here. The study traces the advancements in Bitcoin mining hardware from CPUs to ASICs, highlighting how modern devices are far more efficient and longer lasting than their predecessors. Contrary to popular belief, the study shows that Bitcoin's energy consumption is decreasing, with the 2023 estimate standing at 70.4 terawatt hours, which is only about 0.38% of the world's total electricity consumption. The research challenges the notion that Bitcoin mining is a leading cause of global warming and suggests that with the adoption of renewable energy sources, its environmental impact is likely to decrease further. Yep, we've seen this trend for a while now. Today, the mining hardware landscape has evolved dramatically with devices like the Bitmain Antminer S19 XP and MicroBT WhatsMiner M53S++ or M53S++, boasting hash rates far exceeding their predecessors. Contrary to earlier assumptions about rapid obsolescence, these advancements have led to more profitable and longer-lasting mining devices. Okay, interesting. I'll have to check that out. So consumption in 2022 is 95.5 terawatt hours, roughly equivalent to the electricity consumption of entire countries. However, the 2023 estimate shows a significant reduction to 70.4 terawatt hours. So it went from 95.5 to 70.4. That's quite significant. That's it's like 25 less. 25.1 terawatt hours less. That's huge. That's almost 25%. Put these figures into context, Bitcoin's energy consumption is compared to that used by all tumble dryers in the United States, 108 terawatt hours, and the renewable energy curtailment in China, 105 terawatt hours. In global terms, Bitcoin mining accounts for approximately 0.38% of the world's total electricity consumption. Fascinating. Ripple Labs Inc. challenges SEC's attempt for an interlocutory appeal in landmark case. We talked about this. Digital Rupee gains momentum with Yes Bank's UPI integration. Let's take a look at that. The digital rupee gains momentum with Yes Bank's UPI integration. Yes Bank has integrated the Unified Payments Interface (UPI) with Reserve Bank of India's digital rupee, marking the first such collaboration and enhancing the digital currency's usability. The integration promises seamless, efficient, and broader transactional capabilities for Yes Bank customers who can now make payments using the digital rupee by scanning UPI QR codes. This development is a significant milestone in India's journey towards a digital economy, potentially accelerating the adoption and usability of the digital rupee across the nation. The digital rupee has been gradually gaining acceptance in India. It is already being used in some stores of the country's large Reliance retail chain through a program that began in February. This program was initiated in collaboration with the ICICI Bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank, and Innoviti Technologies, and it also employs QR codes for transactions. A separate wholesale digital rupee pilot was also launched in November, indicating the RBI's commitment to exploring various avenues for the digital currency. The wholesale pilot aims to facilitate transactions between financial institutions, reducing the cost and time associated with such high-value transactions. Fascinating. Hello, Forgive One. Nice to have you with us. Argentina has a dollarization problem, and it is scary. All right, let's take a look at this. Argentina's recent push towards dollarization, inspired by libertarian Javier Milei's electoral win, is cause for concern. Dollarization requires substantial liquid dollars. The country needs $20 to $25 billion, a challenging ask given its negative central bank reserves. The process is irreversible, potentially locking the nation into a rigid financial system. He hasn't won the election yet, has he? So Argentina's done the dollarization thing before, but instead of actually using the US dollar, they pegged their currency to the dollar. So basically they had their own stable coin in as a fiat currency. And then they moved away from that because it was causing other problems. It was the only time they actually had currency stability without pretty much hyperinflation. El Salvador and Ecuador, both of whom adopted the dollar in the late 1990s, offer cautionary tales. These nations quickly realized that while they no longer had control over their monetary policy, they remained susceptible to external factors. Whether it's fluctuating oil prices, global financial swings, or the unpredictability of pandemics and wars, dollarization did little to shield them from these inevitable economic tremors. For Argentina, the allure of dollarization might be its potential in addressing persistent issues like inflation and the nation's chronic fiscal imbalances. In the early 1990s saw Argentina implement the currency board, which at the time appeared to bring stability and promise. However, that optimism was short-lived. The government's fiscal irresponsibility, compounded by the global dollar strength, culminated in a series of currency crises that shattered faith in Argentina's financial structure. The aftermath was severe, with Argentina resorting to printing fiat money in 2001, effectively reneging on the discipline the currency board promised. By 2002, the currency board was discarded. They also defaulted on their international debts. It's kind of crazy. It's tempting to view dollarization as a magic bullet, a quick fix to the country's deeply rooted financial woes. However, history both of Argentina and its Latin American neighbors suggests otherwise. Dollarization is not a one-size-fits-all solution. Instead of clinging to the fairy tale of instant recovery through dollarization, Argentina needs to confront the intricacies of a genuine stabilization effort head-on. Bottom line, while Argentina might be desperate to rewrite its tumultuous financial history, it must tread carefully. Embracing dollarization without a thorough understanding of its implications might not be the new chapter Argentina hopes for, but rather a continuation of its past financial nightmares. I mean, if they run it the same way they ran everything else, yeah. Gary Gensler is about to ruin the American economy. That's a violent kind of looking thing. This is written backwards. Do we offer Arabic? Let me check. Is this also like this in French? No, in French it's normal. Okay. Just had a glitch for a second. By the way, we offer many languages on Cryptopolitan. Gary Gensler, current chair of the SEC, has introduced an unprecedented number of regulations, more than any chair since the 2008 financial crisis. Only 17% of Gensler's regulations stem from congressional directives, unlike his predecessors. Yeah, he does everything by himself, apparently. The pathway to economic stability in America is an intricate dance between free market dynamics and regulatory oversight. Often it's a delicate balance. Gary Gensler, the current chair of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, seems determined to upset this balance if his recent spat of regulations is any indicator, or spate, but I want to say spat with cryptocurrencies in general. All right, U.S. unemployment rate spikes to 3.8% as wage rate slows. That's what happens when you raise the interest rate. In August, the U.S. saw an increase in job growth, but the unemployment rate increased to 3.8%. Despite progress in slowing price increases, the unemployment rate continues to challenge policymakers. In most countries in Europe, 3.8% is just a faraway dream as far as unemployment numbers. Let's not even talk about emerging economies. That would be amazing for them. In the US, it's like, oh my God, we only have we have this huge unemployment, just 3.8%. It's kind of funny. Hi, Nadira, but nice to have you with us. In August, job growth in the United States increased, yet the unemployment rate rose to 3.8%, while wage growth slowed. The data suggests that the job market might be softening, confirming expectations that the Federal Reserve won't raise interest rates this month. The Labor Department's widely observed employment report revealed that 736,000 individuals joined the job market in the past month. That pushed the participation rate to its highest level in 3.5 years, whereby it seems that worries about the economy slowing down are likely encouraging people to rejoin the workforce. That's good. At least people are getting back to work. Okay, so I'm into that. UK's economy is surprising rebound amid ongoing uncertainties for the future. Oh, getting some good news in from the UK. What is it? The UK economy rebounded faster from the COVID-19 pandemic than previously estimated, with a 1.7% boost to GDP. The UK economic performance is on par with or better than Germany, but slightly behind France and Italy in terms of recovery. Despite the rebound, uncertainties persist due to new challenges like energy price shocks and rising interest rates, making the current economic trajectory uncertain. So let's see, do we have information on anything else? New data has revealed that the UK's economy in the final 3 months of 2021 was actually 0.6% larger compared to its pre-pandemic levels, which contradicts the earlier estimate of a 1.2% contraction. So it grew half as much as we thought it had shrunk. The government has used this revised information to assert that those who have been negative about the British economy have been proven wrong. The Office for National Statistics attributes these changes primarily to having more comprehensive data from its annual survey. Furthermore, the updated figures indicate that the economic downturn during the 2020 pandemic lockdown was slightly less severe, with a 10.4% decline instead of the previously reported 11%. Additionally, the recovery in 2021 was faster, with an 8.7% growth rate rather than the earlier 7.6%. It's pretty good numbers compared to what it was before. That's good news. Grayscale Ethereum Trust identified as second largest ETH holder by Arkham Intelligence. Arkham Intelligence identified Grayscale Ethereum Trust as the second largest holder of Ether, with nearly $5 billion in assets spread across over 500 wallet addresses. Grayscale's Ethereum Trust bridges traditional finance and the crypto market, allowing investors to gain exposure to Ethereum without direct asset handling. So it's kind of like Robinhood that also has large Ethereum deposits. Kentucky regulators reject subsidy for crypto mining firm. Here's why. Kentucky state utility regulator denied EBON International's proposal for a discounted energy rate for its planned 100 megawatt cryptocurrency mining facility in Louisa, Kentucky. Environmental organizations like Greenpeace and Earth Justice applauded the decision, citing concerns about the facility's potential impact on climate change and the burden on average energy consumers. Wow. Hashtag clean up Bitcoin is the Greenpeace USA thing about it. Greenpeace is really out there fighting Bitcoin. That's funny. Like we saw earlier, Bitcoin mining in the world went down 25% in electricity usage over the last year, from 2021 to 2022. That's nuts. Legal experts weigh Ripple's strong defense against SEC's interlocutory appeal. What are they saying? John Deaton highlights a crucial argument in Ripple's latest filing that could weaken the SEC's position. Ripple's statement questions the SEC's long-held belief about classifying digital assets. Attorney Fred Rispoli believes Judge Torres may favor Ripple over the SEC based on legal analysis. So Ripple could actually get a better thing out of the that's interesting. MakerDAO co-founder proposes a Solana fork for new chain development. Hello, Access Capital FX 566. Nice to have you with us. Rune Christensen, co-founder of MakerDAO, has proposed using a fork of Solana's codebase to develop MakerDAO's upcoming native chain, New Chain, a part of its endgame upgrade. The proposal cites Solana's technical quality, resilience, and successful past forks as key reasons for considering it over Ethereum, MakerDAO's current platform. If the community approves the proposal, it could mark a significant strategic shift for MakerDAO and potentially impact the broader DeFi ecosystem. It's interesting. Whale Alert flags $33 million XRP transfer amid Ripple SEC legal battle. Whale Alert reports a significant XRP transfer of 66,666,659 tokens, valued at about $33 million from Binance to an unknown wallet. XRP has seen a surge in on-chain transactions, reaching a 7-month high and a 3-month peak in circulation. Ripple transferred 300 million XRP, or $146,997,854, and 500 million XRP, or $244,748,526, into secure escrow accounts. So that's interesting. That's a lot of XRP moving around. So for XRP, it looks like market experts have identified a support level of 48 cents 86 and a resistance level of 50 cents 21. We'll look at that later when we look at the current crypto market, see what's going on there. Gemini accuses Genesis of vote manipulation in FTX dispute. We'll see how that goes, if that gets anywhere. Crypto skeptic Senator Tester faces backlash after financial aid request. U.S. Senator John Tester faces financial challenges and seeks aid on social media. Tester's skepticism towards cryptocurrencies has caused a stir in the crypto community. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong openly criticizes Tester's stance on crypto. So, U.S. Senator John Tester finds himself in a financial bind. Known for his skepticism about cryptocurrencies, Tester's recent plea for financial aid on social media stirred controversy. The crypto community in particular has been swift in its response. Senator Tester, alongside Senator Elizabeth Warren, co-sponsored the Digital Assets Sanctions Compliance and Enhancement Act. He has never been shy about his reservations concerning the crypto industry. Tester once remarked that cryptocurrencies don't pass the smell test for him. Regulating digital assets might inadvertently give them a stamp of legitimacy in the public's eyes. He stated the problem is that if we regulate it, it may give it the ability that people think it's real. This stance has drawn criticism, especially given Tester's current financial predicament. Many see a disconnect between his views on crypto and his financial decisions. The upcoming elections add another layer to this narrative. Tim Sheehy, Tester's opponent, has a more crypto-friendly outlook. This has earned him the backing of industry figures like Ryan Selkis, founder of Masari. Selkis and others have urged the crypto community to rally behind Sheehy and challenge Tester. Not everyone, however, is sympathetic to Tester's situation. Financial analysts Zach Voll and Bruce Fenton, hosts of the Satoshi Roundtable, have expressed their reservations. Tester's recent plea for re-election funds has raised eyebrows. He's aiming to raise funds to meet their August online goal, with just $8,193 left to go. Yet his past actions, seen as stifling crypto innovation, have made this a challenging endeavor. Adding to the debate is Tester's role in the Senate Banking Committee. This committee is pivotal in shaping financial legislation. While Tester claims to champion the interests of small banks and credit unions, his plea underscores a growing divide. It's a divide between traditional financial views and an economy that's rapidly changing. So I'm just going to see who is he running against. So look this up quick. So is he running against this pretty? So he's a member of the Democratic Party, and he's running against who? Sheehy. Right. Tim Sheehy. Is this for the primary, or? That's what I'm trying to find out. Okay, so Tim Sheehy is a aviator and former military officer, CEO, founder of Bridger Aerospace, apparently. He's continuing to run his company while running for office. That's interesting. And yeah, for the U.S. Senate. Okay, so that's interesting. So yeah, the crypto community is standing behind his opponent to get him unelected and also not give him the money he needs to run his campaign correctly. That's interesting. So those are two ways we can push for kind of what do we call it? More friendly crypto laws. Ethereum NFT trading hits 2-year low. According to reports, Ethereum NFT trading hit a 2-year low in August. Challenges and potential revival of the NFT market. In August, the monthly trading volume. Just checking, making sure everything's okay. Yep. So in August, the monthly trading volume of Ethereum NFTs experienced a significant decline, reaching its lowest level in 2 years. This drop in activity was observed across several major NFT marketplaces, including OpenSea, Blur, LooksRare, and X2Y2. The data from the block's dashboard revealed that trading volume of Ethereum NFTs fell to $407 million in August, marking a 32% decrease compared to July's $599 million and the lowest trading volume since June 2021. Let's see. X2Y2 led the decline with a 40% month-over-month drop, while Blur, OpenSea, and LooksRare also saw their trading volumes decrease by 38%, 18%, and 8% respectively. Even OpenSea, once a dominant player in the Ethereum NFT marketplace landscape, experienced a decline in active users. According to Dune Analytics, OpenSea's active user count fell by 12% to 126,000 in August, the lowest count since July 2021. These trends in Ethereum NFT trading volumes reflect a broader decline in interest since the peak of the NFT market in 2021, particularly when compared to the crypto market's overall performance. The Bitwise Blue Chip NFT Collections Index, which includes major NFT collections like CryptoPunks, Bored Ape Yacht Club, Azuki, and The Gods, has dropped by 37% year to date. This decline occurred even as the price of Ether, the cryptocurrency commonly used for NFT transactions, appreciated by 37% during the same period. Solana, another blockchain known for minting and trading NFTs, faced similar challenges. Daily trading volumes on Solana-based NFT marketplaces dropped below $1 million for the first time since September 2021. Additionally, regulatory scrutiny has started to impact the NFT space. The US SEC initiated its first enforcement action related to NFTs, targeting the podcast studio impact theory. So this suggests that regulators are paying closer attention to the NFT market, which could lead to increased compliance requirements and potential challenges for NFT platforms. The NFT sector's troubles were further underscored by the recent closure of the NFT platform Recur, which shut down less than 2 years after raising $50 million in a Series A funding round. Another indication of distress in the NFT space is Rarible's decision to cease aggregating NFT orders from OpenSea, LooksRare, and X2Y2. Wow. This move is related to an ongoing debate in the crypto niche about creator royalties, with more platforms opting to stop enforcing these royalties. NFT royalties also recently hit their lowest volume in 2 years. However, there may be a ray of hope for the NFT market within the gaming sector. According to Loopify, an expert in the metaverse, and NFT studio Endless Clouds, the market needs to shift its focus from being dominated by profile pictures to NFTs that represent in-game items, such as skins. So basically like loot boxes, like for Counter-Strike and that sort of thing. This shift towards incorporating NFTs into gaming experiences could potentially breathe new life into the NFT ecosystem. The NFT market has experienced a significant decline in trading volumes, reaching its lowest point in 2 years. This decline is evident across major Ethereum NFT marketplaces and is indicative of falling interest since the NFT market's peak in 2021. Yep. All right. Right. So Gary Gensler's silly quest seeking allies in unlikely places. Gary Gensler's leadership at the SEC has been notably aggressive towards the digital asset industry. Initially targeting smaller entities, the SEC under Gensler has shifted focus to larger players in the crypto realm. U.S. courts are beginning to challenge and overrule the SEC's overreaches in several key decisions. Yep. The courts are trying to calm him down because he's gone crazy with power. Fed gains leeway on interest rates, all the juicy details. Hi, Donnie 999 and Binance user 1B 591 and Nassar 55. Nice to have you guys with us. It appears that a change in the wind is afoot, giving the U.S. Federal Reserve some much-needed breathing room. Recent statistics show a cooling in the world's economic powerhouse, providing the Fed with a potential respite from the tug-of-war that has been ongoing regarding interest rates. So, yeah, we looked at the job numbers already. And we'll see about the inflation numbers soon enough. Bitcoin whales holdings surged despite price decline. Bitcoin whales holdings have registered a massive spike as the price of BTC declines. Institutional confidence grows ahead of ETF decision. Bitcoin whales added $1.5 billion of BTC in August. So they are buying when the price is low. Christmas comes early for gamers. Here are video games going live September 2023. Let's see what's coming out. Summer break is over and the video game season is back. Fourth quarter of 2023, especially September, has its luck with successful, long-awaited games release. The NBA is set to release NBA 2K24 ahead of the season opening with an extensive roster of NBA and WNBA athletes. The football season is here with the additional release of EA Sports FC 24. So all the sports games are coming out. Mortal Kombat 1, contrary to its moniker, is the 12th installment in the classic fighting game series. This piece leads the most anticipated games in the month. It will be released on September 14th for Windows PCs, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch. Mortal Kombat 1 will launch with 20 playable characters, including Johnny Cage, Liu Kang, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Raiden, some of the franchise's most original retro combatants. Starfield's coming out. It is an ambitious science fiction action role-playing game, ARPG, developed by Bethesda Game Studios, the studio behind Fallout and Elder Scrolls, like Skyrim. Starfield is the studio's first new IP in nearly 30 years, and screenshots from its trailers and gameplay revelations have generated a great deal of online buzz. The game allows players to embark on virtual space quests, customize spaceships and characters, construct their own backstory, and explore over 1,000 planets, of which 100 will contain life. That'll be released on September 6th, so in 2 days. But purchasers of the premium edition will have access to the game on September 1st, so you could already have access to that. Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty. That's CD Projekt Red's open world ARPG. Let's see, when is this coming out? It's coming out this month. NBA 2K24, we talked about that. EA Sports FC 24, we talked about that as well. Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, new mobile game, that's coming out as well. Free-to-play RPG will feature gacha or loot box style weapon and gear elements, as well as new character outfits. Interesting. So a bunch of games coming out this month. Solana CEO wants FTX's SOL distributed to its users. Solana CEO Anatoly Yakovenko has urged FTX to return its SOL to users. Customers anticipate a decision on the assets. FTX still holds $134 million worth of SOL. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully they'll pay back their users. Germany's economic resurgence, what lies ahead? Last numbers we saw from Germany weren't that good. Germany stands on the precipice of another economic metamorphosis. Not too long ago, the nation was dubbed the sick man of Europe. Yet through sheer determination and meticulous reforms, it rose to the epitome of economic prowess. But as recent times have shown, this powerhouse is not impervious to economic doldrums. With Chancellor Olaf Scholz unveiling a new growth blueprint, one can't help but critically ask, is this enough, or is history destined to repeat itself? As Germany's economic performance wanes, echoing somber growth rates and falling behind its major rivals, Chancellor Scholz's plan is a beacon of hope for many. Yet a mere allocation of 8 billion euros, accounting for just 0.2% of the nation's yearly economic yield, raises eyebrows. Is this enough to revitalize a stuttering economy? Or is it merely a nod of acknowledgement, a sign that Berlin finally realizes the gravity of the situation? Critics argue that the plan, while a step in the right direction, lacks the aggression and ambition needed to truly turn the tide. So we'll see how that goes. Base Protocol's TVL skyrockets to over $390 million after Aerodrome launch. Base Protocol's total value locked doubled to $380 million following the launch of its new feature, Aerodrome, which has already facilitated the deployment of over 100 protocols. The surge in TVL is a significant milestone for Base Protocol, indicating a growing interest in its ecosystem. Hi, Confident One, King Sikar and R. Shoria. Nice to have you guys with us. Basis TVL experienced a significant uptick following the introduction of Aerodrome, a decentralized exchange developed by Velodrome Finance. According to data from DeFi Llama, Basis TVL doubled to over $380 million within a day of Aerodrome's launch on August the 28th. Something to take a look at. Banking sector on edge as FCA examines savings rates. The drama surrounding savings rates in the UK's banking sector is reaching a fevered pitch. The Financial Conduct Authority, the watchdog for these financial powerhouses, has stepped into the arena, casting a shadow of apprehension over numerous banks and building societies. To add fuel to this already heated environment, National Savings and Investments, the stalwart backed by the state, unleashed a bombshell. They've decided to up the ante, revising the rate on their one-year fixed bond, rocketing it up to an eye-popping 6.2%, a significant climb from its prior 5%. This isn't just any ordinary leap. For the first time since 2010, NS&I trounced the competition, leaving other banks scrambling in their wake. Traditionally, NS&I has kept a low profile, avoiding any brash moves that could cause ripples in the savings market. Their recent trends show savers taking their treasure chests elsewhere, a shift evident from the data emanating from the Bank of England. So we have a list of banks in the crosshairs. If the whispers from the bank's chief economist, hold weight, financial institutions find themselves handcuffed, struggling to offer better rates to savers. The sentiment has been echoed by several lenders who vocalized their intent to keep an eagle eye on market conditions and the bank rate, holding their cards close to their chest before making any bold moves. NatWest offers a decent 5.5% on its premier fixed rate product. Barclays isn't too far behind with a 5.3% rate on its one-year bond, with Lloyds and HSBC tailing at 5.45% and 5.05% respectively. Allied Irish Bank, not wanting to be left in the dust, plans to hike its rate to 4.75% come September. Admirable moves, sure, but when you hit them against NS&I's staggering 6.2%, it's evident they're not in the same league. UK Finance, the voice of over 300 financial outfits, argues that the UK's banking playground remains competitive. They suggest that the banks in the region have been more generous in passing on interest rate hikes to savers than their international peers. A comforting pat on the back? Hardly. Savers aren't looking for a consolation prize. They're seeking the best bang for their buck. We'll see how that goes. China ramps up backing for its yuan with housing market. China's recent maneuvers to fortify its renminbi and rejuvenate the housing sector underscore a concerted drive to bolster the world's second largest economy. The dramatic dip of over 5% in renminbi's value against the dollar this year has undeniably instigated these assertive steps. So they're making housing market reforms to try to keep their currency valuable. I've been hearing about a potential bubble bursts for the housing market in China for over a year. So we'll see how that goes. Is the metaverse dead? Investors register 99% losses. The September 2023 metaverse market is far off from its peak success in November 2021, and the numbers show painful results. The Sandbox, Axie Infinity, Engine Coin, and Decentraland arguably dominated the metaverse and GameFi. Not anymore. In recent developments, the booming metaverse market is exhibiting signs of cooling off as it experiences a notable price dip across various digital assets and virtual real estate properties. Once hailed as the next frontier in technological evolution and a lucrative investment opportunity, the metaverse is currently navigating through turbulent waters, sparking debates among investors, developers, and analysts about the sustainability and long-term prospects of these digital universes. This downturn has led many to question whether the recent slump is a market correction, a momentary hiccup, or a harbinger of more dramatic shifts to come. Regardless of the cause, one thing is certain: stakeholders are paying close attention to every move and recalibrating strategies as the metaverse faces its first major financial tests. The total market capitalization of the four tokens in November 2021, so that's Sand from the Sandbox, AXS from Axie Infinity, ENJ from Engine Coin, and Mana from Decentraland. Arguably dominated the metaverse and GameFi sector during the 2021 crypto market rally. Notably, the total market capitalization of the four tokens in November 2021 peaked at $16 billion. At the time, these metaverse tokens represented 0.5% of the global crypto market capitalization of $3 trillion. However, as the crypto winter began, metaverse initiatives received widespread criticism, ranging from security to privacy, community governance, and a lack of long-term hodling incentives. So the big four have seen a lot of trading pains. The total value has decreased to, as of September 2023, the total value of Sand, AXS, ENJ, and Mana has decreased to $1.23 billion from $16 billion. This is a startling 92% decline from November 2021's market cap of $16 billion. To put this decline in context, the market dominance of these four metaverse tokens has fallen to 0.12% of the global crypto market capitalization. Wow. The market capitalization is a financial metric representing a cryptocurrency's total circulating supply value. It estimates a blockchain's total value at a particular time period. By aggregating the market capitalization of the four largest metaverse projects, investors can gain a clear understanding of the sector's systemic significance within the broader crypto market. Wow. It really did drop drastically. So how are the investors surviving the market? Those who believe the 2021 metaverse hysteria are already calculating their losses despite the fact that the game may not be over. Historical in-out of the money IO map data from Into the Block estimates the deficit or profitability of all wallet addresses holding a specific token. It is calculated by comparing current prices to the average cost of acquiring tokens. The below historical IO map data demonstrates the vast majority of current ENJ, Mana, AXS, and Sand holders are in the red. That's so much red. Axie Infinity and the Sandbox holders are doing the worst out of the four major metaverse initiatives. Axie Infinity is an NFT-based online video game created by the Vietnamese studio Sky Mavis that was once renowned for its bustling in-game economy. According to historical data from Into the Block, 99.54% of all the addresses that purchased AXS are currently out of the money. The Sandbox project is a virtual world where users can create, own, and monetize gaming experiences. 98.34% of those who purchase Sand tokens are also currently submerged. Meanwhile, investors in Decentraland and Engine Coin are also far from profitable. Decentraland's vibrant virtual marketplace and community center where users create, purchase, and sell digital real estate contributed to its popularity. Nonetheless, as of September 1st, 2023, 89.04% of investors holding the native Sand token are in the red. Doesn't sound right, but okay. They mix that's not the right token. The Engine Coin ecosystem, the last of the four, provides developers with specialized software for creating and managing virtual products on the Ethereum blockchain. The native ENJ token holders have also endured a similar fate. Additionally, 75.5% of Engine investors are currently in a substantial deficit position. Can the metaverse industry recover? The prevalent social sentiment surrounding the metaverse is currently pessimistic. Nonetheless, this may attract strategic investors seeking to purchase the dip in anticipation of a future recovery. Several factors suggest that the momentum is waning rapidly. First, security, long-term utility, and player retention continue to be criticized. Yet the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC of the United States, has exacerbated the metaverse's problems. The SEC launched lawsuits against Binance and Coinbase in June 2023. The regulator identified the Sandbox, Axie Infinity, and Decentraland as securities in the filings. Sand decreased by approximately 44%, AXS by 33%, and Mana, which is Decentraland's currency, by 40% as a result. Whether the metaverse industry can recover from any setbacks or slowdowns depends on a complex interplay of technological, economic, and societal factors. These variables can be unpredictable, but they also provide opportunities for problem solving and innovation. Given the substantial interest and investment in this concept, it is possible that the industry could recover and evolve, even if it faces challenges along the way. So we've had a lot of stuff happen today, and we're not even done. That's an article from just 2 days ago. Are gamers right to hate blockchain? A close look. The dialogue surrounding blockchain-based gaming has been deafening, with its lofty promises of upending the gaming industry status quo and providing players with unparalleled autonomy. It's no wonder that blockchain enthusiasts are singing its praises. Yet the glaring question remains unanswered. If it's so transformative, why aren't we all reveling in this new age of gaming? Could the answer lie with gamers, the very group this revolution aims to empower? Gamers versus blockchain. An unexpected standoff. Every corner of the internet, especially gaming subreddits, is filled with opinions about blockchain, cryptocurrency, and NFTs. And let's be brutally honest here, not all of it is good. In fact, most of it is downright disdainful. I can definitely witness to that. A browse through these platforms paints blockchain as the door-to-door salesman of the digital era, promising the moon but delivering, well, knife sets. Gamers traditionally seen as early adopters of new tech have become the very wall that blockchain needs to scale. But is their resistance valid? For the uninitiated, the blockchain realm parades itself as a bastion of transparency, equality, and genuine ownership. Yet it's impossible to ignore the parade of scams, hacks, and questionable influencers muddying this reputation. How can a world teeming with get-rich-quick schemes and dubious dealings convince gamers that blockchain gaming isn't just another con? Why the gaming industry needs blockchain. Behind the scenes of your favorite games, centralized powerhouses control the strings. The whims and fancies of these developers and publishers directly shape and shift player experiences. Take, for instance, the infamous World of Warcraft incident. A seemingly arbitrary decision to nerf a character's abilities might seem trivial to outsiders, yet for players deeply invested in the game, such unannounced changes can be a source of immense frustration. I have a story from League of Legends where I used to main Xin Zhao. He's a spear-wielding Chinese guy, I guess. Some prince from, I don't remember all the lore, but he had a certain set of 4 skills that you use in games, and they completely changed all the skills after 4 years of his creation. And when that happened, I just quit playing League of Legends altogether. So if you change a character that people are used to, that can cause players to have an interesting relationship with the game. That's one thing to know. They serve as stark reminders of the unchecked power game developers possess, which has ripple effects on players who have no voice in these decisions. And then there's the Madden NFL 23 fiasco. Imagine spending hours, days, or even months building your dream team only for a glitch to erase all of your progress. An error like this isn't just a minor inconvenience, it's a betrayal. In a world where blockchain technology exists, this heartbreak could have been completely avoided. Blockchain's decentralized nature, which saves data across multiple nodes, ensures that even if one fails, the system remains unaffected. Such resilience translates into trust, a currency the game world desperately needs. The World of Warcraft franchise struck again, this time leaving millions of Chinese players in the lurch. A sudden termination of Blizzard's operations in China starkly highlighted the vulnerability of centralized gaming systems. It wasn't merely about losing a game, it was about losing communities, connections, and virtual homes. With blockchain, the chains of licensing agreements and corporate disputes would crumble, allowing players to truly claim their gaming worlds. That depends on how it's built, and since it's built by a centralized gaming development company in general, it would be interesting to see mods as NFTs or as ecosystems, or you could fork a game, I guess, if it was completely blockchain compatible. Anyhow, I have a few ideas about this whole thing. Let's see, it wasn't merely about losing a game. Let's also discuss the true ownership blockchain promises. Currently, the in-game assets that players grind for or purchase outright aren't really theirs. A server glitch or a sudden change in game policy can snatch them away. Blockchain-based gaming can challenge this norm. Tokenized in-game assets on blockchain mean that players genuinely own their assets. Imagine transferring a weapon from one game to another, breaking the barriers of individual game ecosystems. So that's something that people have been talking about for years and just honestly hasn't really happened. There are not, as far as I know, there aren't any cases of games where you can transfer an item from one game to another because you have to build the game. It's a lot of work to build a game in the first place. Being able to move an asset from one game to another is a whole thing where the person building the second game has to recognize the asset and actually implement it in their game somehow. I could see that happening between two FPSs where you can move, for example, a rifle from one game to the other. But how do you do that with, say, you have a farm in one game? How do you move that to another game? How do you move that to a real-time strategy game or something? That's just a strange concept there. Hi, Binance user FA36F. And also the graphics systems could be completely different. One game could be running on the Unity game engine, one game on Unreal, and there's like no compatibility there. So how does this work? All right, so that's all pretty complicated. Lastly, the game changer, pun intended, provable fairness. Trust in the traditional gaming world is a gamble. Players hope that game developers ensure fairness and transparency. But with blockchain, hope is replaced by certainty. Outcomes in blockchain games, be it a dice roll or a loot box spawn, are governed by visible smart contracts. Every action, outcome, and transaction is recorded and verifiable. The playing field isn't just leveled, it's transparent. So is the gaming industry's hesitancy toward blockchain warranted, perhaps given its current flaws and reputation. Yet the potential of blockchain gaming cannot be denied. I mean, there's so many scams, it's hard to say that at this point, because it depends on the developer. If you can't trust the developer, or if you're uncertain you can trust the developer, all of the bonuses just disappear and vanish. It's not about merely leveling up our current gaming system, it's about reconstructing them to return power to the players. So to all the skeptics, including my younger brother Jake, here's a critical thought. The game's future might just be worth the gamble. We'll see. Cyber replaces friend.tech. Are investors wrong yet again? Just like friend.tech, CyberConnect is a social media network that allows developers to create applications focused on content and friendship. Cyber price is up 250% in the past 7 days due to the massive interest from traders. The crypto market volatility has investors questioning if Cyber is another wrong market investment. I haven't seen a single social media crypto project that was worth more than air so far. I'm just saying. It's not investment advice. I'm just saying it's something I haven't seen yet. Not saying it can't happen. Coinbase versus SEC. Crypto's fate hangs in the balance. Ripple's escape route uncovered. All right, what do we have to say here? Attorney John Deaton, who is representing a substantial number of XRP token holders, has outlined the possible courses of action that the two parties might take should they decide to settle their legal dispute. Deaton's analysis is shaped by several critical factors, including the outcome of the ongoing legal battle between Coinbase and the SEC. If the motion to dismiss in the Coinbase case is approved, it would significantly limit the SEC's ability to pursue an appeal. That makes sense, because it would create something that they can stand on for that. UK inflation could have soon, seeing an ease in families' pressure, Chancellor says. The Chancellor of the Exchequer. Wait. Chancellor Jeremy Hunt confidently sees UK inflation halve and believes his strategy to tackle rising UK costs will alleviate household financial strain. The Office for National Statistics has substantially revised UK growth figures upward, indicating a faster recovery from the pandemic than previously thought. Rachel Reeves, MP, argues that moving from no growth to low growth is not cause for celebration. I mean, in the current world economy, it's not bad. While the Bank of England has projected an inflation rate of 7.1%, experts anticipate a decline to around 5% by the end of this year. Inflation, which reached a staggering peak of 11.1% in October of the previous year, has now moderated to 6.8%, although it remains significantly higher than the Bank of England's target of 2%. 5%, that's livable already. That's pretty good. That if it's in a trend of decline, it could continue that trend. Meanwhile, the Office for National Statistics has substantially revised the UK's growth figures upwards. We talked about this already today. By the way, if you're just jumping in for the first time, subscribe so you get notifications when we go live again. And like the video if you find it interesting to go through all this news. So yeah. So Rachel Reeves, MP, the Shadow Chancellor for Labour, accused him of being disconnected from the economic challenges faced by families in Britain. She argued that transitioning from no growth to low growth is not a reason to celebrate and shouldn't be the ultimate goal. He never said it was the ultimate goal. There's the Shadow Chancellor showing politicking instead of actually caring about the economy. Dogecoin connection to be unveiled in Elon Musk's upcoming biography. Elon Musk's forthcoming biography is set to reveal that he has been secretly funding the development of Dogecoin, confirming long-standing rumors about his involvement with the cryptocurrency. The biography will also detail Musk's ambitious plans to launch a social media platform based on blockchain technology that would incorporate Dogecoin as a payment feature, potentially revolutionizing social media interactions. Suspicious about that. We'll see when the biography comes out, but that's interesting. That would mean he had a conflict of interest, I'd say, concerning Dogecoin, right? Or am I missing something? FTX filing reveals extravagant payouts amid Alameda Research's financial collapse. A recent FTX filing reveals over $900 million in cash transfers to former CEO Sam Bankman-Fried and a $2.5 million yacht purchase for ex-Alameda co-CEO Samuel Trabucco. Legal repercussions are unfolding as the Justice Department alleges that Bankman-Fried misappropriated and embezzled FTX customer deposits for personal enrichment and other purposes. That's a lot of money to just kind of take for something that's going downhill. Vitalik Buterin sells MakerDAO stake following CEO Rune Christensen's Solana proposal. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Ed Connie made a joke about Solana. MakerDAO CEO Rune Christensen proposes a long-term vision for the project, suggesting a transition to a new blockchain potentially forked from Solana. Following the announcement, Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin sold his remaining stake of 500 MakerDAO tokens for about $580,000 in ETH. Former Wells Fargo executive faces 1-year prison term for obstructing fake accounts investigation. Carrie L. Tolsted, former head of retail banking at Wells Fargo, faces a potential 1-year prison sentence for obstructing an investigation into the bank's fake account scandal. Prosecutors argue that a probation term recommended by the U.S. Probation Office is too lenient given the severity of Tolsted's actions and the scale of the scandal. Tolsted has already agreed to a $17 million civil penalty and a ban from the banking industry. Her sentencing hearing is scheduled for September 15th. So we'll have more news on that shortly. ZK Sync co-creator controversial novel hierarchical on-chain court system proposal. Alex Lochowski, co-creator of Ethereum's Layer 2 scaling solution ZK Sync, recently unveiled an innovative governance proposal called L1 Fork, which serves as a court of final appeal within the blockchain ecosystem. He emphasized the limitations of the fork choice resolution, highlighting that assets bridged from Ethereum cannot be easily forked. An essential feature of this proposal is the introduction of an appeal period during which the court's decision can be challenged, followed by a response from the court. It's an interesting system. Hi, Binance user D68ED and Binance user 4B827. Nice to have you with us. Hong Kong finance minister cautions against over-reliance on tax reduction for stock market survival. Hong Kong's finance minister Paul Chan Mo-po has warned that reducing the tax on securities trading may not be enough to revive the sluggish stock market. Chan expressed concerns about the unsatisfactory performance of Hong Kong's stock market, citing an 8% decline in the Hang Seng index in August. Chan cautioned against the newly created task force taking piecemeal stimulus measures, saying that they could fail to invigorate the market and further erode investor confidence. So Hong Kong's stock market performance is unsatisfactory, pointing to an 8% decline in the Hang Seng index during August, with daily average turnover at around 100 billion Hong Kong dollars, or 12.7 billion US dollars. Chen expressed his concerns about the unsatisfactory performance of Hong Kong's stock market in his weekly blog. Hong Kong contemplates stamp duty reduction amid mixed perspectives. In response to mainland China's recent decision to boost trading on its stock exchanges by reducing stamp duties to 0.05%, some local stockbrokers and notable figures in the financial sector, such as Executive Council convener Regina Ip Lau Suk Yi, have advocated for a similar approach in Hong Kong. Interesting. So Hong Kong's feeling some of the issues from China's economic cooling. Binance CEO predicts decentralized finance will eclipse centralized financial systems. We've heard that many times. How close are we? Do we have numbers? Oh. Turkey's crypto adoption soars, 12% increase in investors over 18 months. Probably because the last elections put the same government in power that has not been taking care of the inflation problem very well, or anything else economic for that point. KuCoin's recent report reveals a 12% increase in crypto investors in Turkey over the last 18 months, driven by economic uncertainties and a lenient regulatory environment. The younger generation and local businesses are actively engaging with cryptocurrencies, contributing to market growth. Turkish banks are exploring crypto custody services, indicating a potential further integration of digital assets into the country's financial landscape. KuCoin's report sheds light on Turkey's growing crypto market. So they're the 12% up. That makes sense. Optimism soars in crypto space. Bitcoin holders now exceed 48.5 million. Bitcoin whales are accumulating assets despite the cryptocurrency's bearish market trends. The latest data from Into the Block shows a significant increase in Bitcoin holders, surpassing 48.5 million. Grayscale Investments recently won a landmark case against the SEC, boosting investor confidence in Bitcoin. All right. We'll check that out when we look at the currencies in a bit. China slows down. Asia economies feel the impact. South Korea's tech woes, a warning signal for Asia. South Korea's economic pulse often serves as a diagnostic tool for the health of Asia's technological realm. Regrettably, the prognosis isn't promising. This tech powerhouse has seen its exports plummet, witnessing the most significant dip in over 3 years. Decreased demand for computer chips from China. If that weren't alarming enough, factory activity has dwindled for an unsettling 14 consecutive months, marking the most prolonged decline in the survey's existence. Japan and Taiwan, two other economic stalwarts of Asia, are caught in a similar quagmire. Their factory outputs are diminishing, and with it, the demand from foreign shores raising several eyebrows. pandemic economic pandemic of economic concerns. Um, Vincent Sui from the Beijing research group Gavikal sums it up aptly with his remark: when China sneezes, Asia catches a cold. Hong Kong and Singapore are particularly vulnerable with their GDPs so profoundly intertwined with Chinese demand. South Korea, sensing the gravity of the situation, has initiated measures such as a new national holiday in a desperate attempt to spur consumption. However, as Park Chung-hoon of Standard Chartered rightly points out, unless China pulls a swift 180-degree economic turnaround, South Korea's recovery will remain a mirage. Australia, which had managed to maintain its economic buoyancy during the trade tension phase with China, is now wading through murkier waters. The Australian dollar's valuation has taken a hit, sinking to its lowest in almost a year. Major business entities like BHP are growing skeptical of the future, especially if China continues to dawdle in reigniting its growth. Vietnam, Malaysia, and Thailand aren't faring any better either. These nations, previously bustling with trade activities, are now grappling with sluggish export rates and diminishing industrial production. Hello, Nadira Bhatna. I saw what you're posting over and over again. Tether's grip on crypto market eroded by harsh competition. Tether's dominance in the cryptocurrency market is waning. Tether's market cap dropped by 1.2% in August, but still remains 3 times larger than its nearest competitor. The overall stablecoin market has been contracting for 17 consecutive months. Regulatory challenges and reduced DeFi activity contribute to the decline. Double crisis hits Europe, recession avoidable, expert claims. Europe is grappling with a double crisis: Russia's invasion of Ukraine and its subsequent economic impact. Despite these challenges, Europe secured alternative energy sources, reducing dependency on Russia. The Eurozone reported a growth rate of 3.5% in 22, surpassing the US and China. Dark clouds loom over Europe as the continent grapples with what Paolo Gentiloni, the European Commissioner for Economic Affairs, describes as a double crisis. While these geopolitical shockwaves reverberated globally, Europe, particularly Germany, felt the pinch more than most. Yeah, Europe turned away from Russian oil and gas. Still getting a lot of Russian oil and gas through Azerbaijan, but that's another story for another time. That's not actually hurting the European economy. It's just a strange thing to know. The European Union is trying to lower inflation right now. That's kind of the big fight that everyone's having, but that's post-pandemic. That may not have anything to do with the war. Mastering China, UBS reveals winning strategy amid tensions. UBS provides a strategy for navigating China's volatile economic landscape, emphasis on key policy areas like property easing, private sector support, and local government debt solutions. UBS is looking for opportunity amidst the chaos. There's a lot going on with retail apparently for Adidas, Nike, Uniqlo, Yum China, the powerhouse behind KFC and Pizza Hut, is another name to watch. So these are for like stocks to keep an eye on. China Longguan Power Group, a leader in wind energy, scaling its capacities aggressively. Another noteworthy entity is China Resources Power, a dual coal and wind enterprise with advantageous power pricing policies. This conglomerate seems set to thrive. While China's recent economic metrics might paint a grim picture with dips in industrial output, retail sales, and a minor contraction in the consumer price index, it isn't all doom and gloom. A silver lining is evident, with stock prices on the rise, fueled by positive governmental initiatives and high-level discussions between Chinese officials and U.S. Secretary of Commerce Gina Raimondo. So they managed to get some foreign investment in again. U.S. Commerce Chief's stark warning to China. U.S. Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo issues a blunt warning to China on behalf of American businesses. Once close trading partners, U.S. and China now gravitate towards other regions. American firms in China face challenges including arbitrary fines, business raids, and changing laws. So the crux of the issue is American firms are craving predictability in a fair marketplace, but China's recent actions suggest the opposite. You can't expect a fair market in a place where the government can just take away everything you have for whatever reason. Hi, IISHA 1992. Nice to have you with us. Hi, Ali 199. So, hackers funnel 70.6% of stolen bit browser funds to EXCH crypto mixer. It's not Tornado Cash this time. Slow Mist has been tracking the recent bit browser hack, revealing significant movements by the hackers. The hackers transferred 236.27 Ethereum tokens, roughly $386,000, to a crypto mixer called EXCH, accounting for 70.6% of the total stolen funds. Using a crypto mixer aims to obfuscate the financial trail, enabling hackers to sell the assets on centralized exchanges without potential detection. This is from renowned Chinese reporter Colin Wu about all this. Hopefully they can get the funds back. Gala Games in turmoil. CEO and co-founder engage in legal battle. Oof. Gala Games is facing internal turmoil as its CEO and co-founder have filed lawsuits against each other, causing significant disruptions within the company. The ongoing legal disputes have led to a 72% drop in Gala Games stock value in 2023, eroding investor confidence and financial stability. Eric Schiermeier, CEO of Gala Games, and Wright Thurston, the company's co-founder, have filed lawsuits against each other, sending shockwaves through the blockchain gaming community. Schiermeier's lawsuit, filed on behalf of Blockchain Game Partners, the parent company of Gala Games, accused Thurston and his investment firm True North Investments of unlawfully acquiring and selling approximately 8.645 billion Gala tokens, valued at around $130 million. The CEO alleged that these tokens were moved from secure wallets and sold or hidden in a complex web of transactions, causing significant financial damage to the company. Schiermeier also claimed that Thurston illegally sold licenses to operate nodes within the Gala Games ecosystem, further exacerbating the company's woes. In a counterclaim, Thurston filed a lawsuit accusing Schiermeier of gross mismanagement and financial imprudence, alleging that the CEO had squandered nearly $600 million in company assets. Okay, so if one hurt their currency by 130 million in sales and the other one wasted $600 million, they'd still be like $730 million less well off as a company than they would have otherwise been, if they're both true, if that makes sense. Thurston's lawsuit also claimed that Schiermeier had formed offshore entities in Dubai and Switzerland using loans from the company for acquisitions that should have rightfully belonged to Gala Games. Both parties are seeking the removal of the other from their respective directorial roles, adding another layer of complexity to the already convoluted situation. While the top executives are embroiled in legal battles, other members of the Gala Games leadership, such as Jason Brink, president of blockchain at Gala Games, have chosen to remain neutral. Brink confirmed the lawsuits and expressed hope that they would bring transparency to the company's operations. The internal strife has had a devastating impact on Gala Games and its native token Gala. As of early September 2023, the token had lost 72% of its value from its peak in January, sinking to a near all-time low. The decline is not solely attributable to the lawsuits, but has been exacerbated by broader market conditions affecting cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum. And like we talked about earlier, gamers really haven't been jumping onto this sort of thing, so that doesn't help either. Hello, Iggy Dimitri, or Privet. Hi, Binance user C4875. And hello, Binance and CWH. Nice to have you guys with us, as well as Kami 786 and Adventure 007. Ex-SEC chair makes positive spot Bitcoin ETF prediction. The former SEC chair, Jay Clayton, has shared his insight on the ongoing spot Bitcoin ETF approval process, and he's saying that they're on the right path for approval. Robert Kennedy Jr. reveals China's intentions. U.S. presidential candidate Robert Kennedy Jr. has given his opinion on China's intentions, BRICS alliance, and currency shift in international trade. RFK Jr. emphasized that while China does not seek a military conflict with the United States, it harbors aspirations to outshine the U.S. economically. He also addressed China's role in the evolving BRICS alliance and the significance of local currencies in international trade. I'm not going to say what I think about RFK Jr. and his international analysis. Something seems off about his way of looking at things. He seems to have more Chinese or Russian way of looking at international relations than an American way of looking at it, like a different angle. KuCoin report shows crypto adoption rate in Turkey. We talked about that, 12% up in a year. JP Morgan analysts predict SEC will approve multiple spot Bitcoin ETFs following Grayscale's legal victory. Solana co-founder Anatoly Yakovenko calls MakerDAO's consideration of Solana Tech a win for open source. So after we saw Ethereum's co-founder pull out of MakerDAO and sell his tokens, we see the co-founder of Solana saying it's a good thing. That makes sense. Bitcoin backer Ron DeSantis, U.S. presidential candidate, pledges unwavering support. This could be big news. Ron DeSantis, a U.S. presidential candidate, has released a Bitcoin declaration promising strong support for Bitcoin in opposition to CBDCs. DeSantis' stance on cryptocurrencies could significantly influence the regulatory landscape, potentially shaping the future of digital currencies in the United States. Even if he doesn't win the nomination, that could have an effect on the Republican campaign promises for the actual election itself, even if he doesn't win the primaries. Hi, Binance user 138FF. Hi, again, Isha 1992. And SMD Kesto. U.S. federal court clears the way for Hellbiz coin investors class action lawsuit. Okay, what's going on here? U.S. federal court greenlights class action lawsuit against Hellbiz coin creators, citing fraud and securities law violations. The court's ruling deems Hellbiz's ERC20 token as a security, potentially shaping future cryptocurrency regulations. Blockchain transparency played a pivotal role in the case. Let's get the background here real quick. The class action lawsuit against Hellbiz, its CEO Salvatore Palella, and associated partners was initially filed in 2020 and later amended in March 2022. The case's core revolves around Hellbiz coin, which investors claim was a fraudulent scheme characterized as a rug pull and a pump and dump operation. Investors numbering as many as 20,000 contend that Hellbiz made false statements and promises to induce people to purchase the coins, with most of the funds raised during the ICO allegedly retained by the company. In a notable twist, the lawsuit alleged that Hellbiz coin was a security under federal law, a point of contention with significant implications for the cryptocurrency market. The lawsuit was not without its challenges, as it was initially dismissed by a lower court judge in January 2021, citing a Supreme Court precedent from 2010 that limited the reach of federal securities laws beyond U.S. borders. However, the case was revived in October 2021 when the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals found the lower court judge's decision erroneous. So on September 1st, 2023, the U.S. District Court of the Southern District of New York ruled on the Hellbiz coin case. The court partially favored the investors, granting some motions to dismiss while denying others. Notably, all claims against certain defendants, including Paysafe, Skrill, Decentral, and Alphabet, were dismissed due to a lack of personal jurisdiction over these entities. Some claims against the remaining defendants, including breach of contract, tortious interference, and certain securities claims were also dismissed for failing to state a claim. However, Judge Louis Stanton's ruling did validate the investors' claims on various fronts. The court found that plaintiffs had adequately stated claims for fraud, price manipulation, violations of securities laws, commodities laws, and the RICO, which is the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, and unjust enrichment against specific defendants. One particularly consequential aspect of the court's decision was the determination that the RC20 token issued by Helbiz during the ICO qualified as a security under federal law. This ruling carries significant implications for classifying cryptocurrencies and tokens, potentially setting a precedent for future cases involving similar issues. So let's see. The Helbiz coin case extensively used the Ethereum ledger to support the investors' claims. The complaint included multiple charts demonstrating what the investors characterized as spoof trading during the ICO. Additionally, evidence of multiple Genesis wallets was presented to the initial investors like Anthony DiLorio. These wallets were allegedly involved in similar behavior in ICOs endorsed by DiLorio, including EOS. Michael Kenovitz, the lawyer representing the investors, emphasized the significance of blockchain transparency in uncovering fraudulent activities. He likened encountering multiple Genesis wallets to a fingerprint that points to a select few individuals globally. Furthermore, he noted that these Genesis wallets were implicated in ICOs supported by DiLorio, raising suspicions of coordinated activities. However, it's worth mentioning that while the complaint alleged that DiLorio had an advisor in Helbiz, or DiLorio, an advisor to Helbiz, published false and misleading statements about the Helbiz coin ICO in Bitcoin Magazine, it did not provide concrete evidence that he had indeed made these statements. The court deemed this conclusion speculative and thus insufficient to establish that DiLorio had disseminated false information. That guy's name makes me want to go buy black and white cookies, I'm just saying. The recent federal court decision to allow the class action lawsuit against Helbiz's coins creators underscores the growing scrutiny and legal challenges facing the cryptocurrency industry. Okay, Europe's inflation is significantly higher than US's wages experience growth. Well, what about the cost of living? Is it going up or not? So, for example, right now I'm in Montenegro, right? Hi Zyklon W Saga 812, my hash user 5C466, Hamid Ha 1510. Nice to meet you guys. Zyklon W, Fatty 04, hello. That's a lot of folks I haven't seen before. Binance user 138FF. Nice to have you guys with us. Welcome. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe so you get notifications when we have other live streams. Some may be a bit different, but during the week, they're mostly about current crypto economic and sometimes gaming or NFT news concerning, in general, it's things that are good to know if you're trading crypto. So, yeah, Europe is facing a more persistent challenge with inflation compared to the United States. The US has recorded a 2.1% annualized expansion in the second quarter, raising optimism for a soft landing that controls inflation without a recession. Wage growth in Europe, particularly in the UK and the Eurozone, has outpaced that in the United States. So let's see. In August, the inflation rate in the Eurozone held steady at 5.3%. Which is not great for the Eurozone, but it's much better than many other places around the world. In fact, if the euro lost some value internationally, it might not be bad for certain countries like France or Italy. If the euro lost some value, they would have an easier time selling overseas with their extremely high costs of production. For example, France has the most efficient workers in the world because for each worker, you're paying twice as much in taxes that you're paying in salary. So if you pay somebody 1,500 euros a month, you're actually paying €4,500 a month because you're paying €3,000 in taxes and social benefits. So it's much more expensive to hire somebody in France than to hire somebody in almost anywhere else in the world. So you need to make that worker extremely efficient. So you put as many machines that they can run at a time around them to do what they have to do to make it as efficient as possible. And I've worked in factories in France. It's super efficient, but that cost is not shrinking; it's going up. So the cost of producing the same product month after month, year after year, is continuously going up, no matter what you do. So in order to be competitive and sell your product overseas over somebody else's product, what you have to have is your currency has to depreciate a little bit in order to compensate for the growth in salaries. So that's kind of where this inflation can actually help create jobs. Anyhow, that's a long economic analysis we could get into someday. Matter Labs co-founder. Oh, wait. China's digital yuan gets a game-changing makeover. What's going on? Cheng Cheng-mu, the director of the Digital Currency Research Institute of the People's Bank of China, emphasized the desire of digital yuan developers to see it integrated into all online retail payment options. One of the key points Mu raised was the integration of the digital yuan into popular payment platforms and applications used by consumers, including those operated by commercial banks, WeChat, and Alipay. That would be huge. So he made this announcement on September 3rd, speaking at the annual China International Service Trade Fair. He highlighted the ongoing technological and business model upgrades that the digital yuan is undergoing, and he emphasized the desire of the digital yuan developers to see it integrated into all online retail payment options. That would be huge. That might actually replace the regular non-crypto yuan at that point, non-CBDC yuan. Matter Labs co-founder proposes Ethereum Supreme Court for on-chain disputes. Matter Labs co-founder Alex Gluchowski proposes an Ethereum Supreme Court for on-chain disputes resembling a hierarchical legal system to protect Ethereum protocols from external interference. This innovative concept aims to strengthen network integrity, serve as a potent deterrence mechanism, and elevate Ethereum's status as a reliable blockchain platform. Still, it faces challenges like the need for strong social consensus and managing costs. India's NPCI hunts for blockchain genius to revolutionize payments. The Reserve Bank of India and 247 Indian banking companies have joined forces to form the National Payments Corporation of India. That's the NPCI. Both actively looking for an experienced blockchain technologist to lead efforts in examining potential blockchain applications within modern payment systems. The senior leadership position also demands a profound technical grasp of various blockchain platforms and a track record of involvement in at least 2 pilot blockchain projects. That's an interesting job posting. Global economy expected to slow down in 2024 amid shifting economic landscapes. Global economy expected to slow down in 2024 amid shifting economic landscapes. Economists predict a slowdown in global economic growth for 2024, the projected expansion of 2.1%, down from expected 2.4%. The cautious outlook for 2024 is driven by concerns of prolonged inflation due to high demand, leading policymakers in advanced economies to maintain elevated borrowing costs. Except for Germany, the European economy has performed better than initially feared in the current year. That I guess they're including the UK in that. Both the European Central Bank and the Bank of England are expected to maintain higher interest rates for an extended period. The European Central Bank, for instance, has raised its deposit rate from minus 0.5% in June 2022 to the current 3.75%, and is not expected to begin cutting rates for most of the next year. On the other hand, the Bank of England is anticipated to raise borrowing costs by another half percentage point to 5.75% by year end, and is not likely to initiate rate cuts until the second half of 2024. So we have a bunch of other countries having issues. China's economic deceleration, slowdown in U.S. growth to 0.6% in 2024, down from 1.9% expected for this year. So yeah, just a low level of growth, kind of a slow year is what we're looking at so far, according to economists. OKX nearing historic crypto license in Hong Kong. Congrats to OKX. That would be huge for them. Hi, Binance user 39. Hello. Hi, SBD 731. Nice to have you with us. Let's see if anybody said anything in YouTube. Nope. It happens. Sometimes nobody jumps on there. Binance's head of product, Mayur Kamat, steps down amidst growing scrutiny. Oh, what's going on here? Mayur Kamat, Binance's head of product, has resigned after nearly 2 years with the company. Kamat's departure comes amid high-profile exits at Binance, facing increased scrutiny from global regulators. During his tenure, Kamat was crucial in expanding Binance's user base from 80 million to over 150 million. That's a lot of users. Kamat expressed gratitude to Changpeng Zhao, commonly known as CZ, and the entire leadership team at Binance. He said, "It's time for me to step down and transition product leadership to Binance's next-gen leaders," he said. Kamat also mentioned that he had worked closely with other product leads to ensure a smooth transition. Before joining Binance in January 2022, he held managerial roles at tech giants like Google and Agoda. His LinkedIn profile reveals that he led global product and design teams at Binance. He was also an early adopter of Bitcoin, having purchased his first 2 units in 2011. Interestingly, he clarified that the purchase was not for investment, but to secure a VPN connection. Fascinating. His departure adds to the growing list of executives who have recently left Binance. The chief strategy officer also resigned. That was Patrick Hillman, apparently for personal reasons. Hen NG, general counsel, and Stephen Christie, senior vice president for compliance, also left in July. So just a lot of people are leaving Binance right now. All right. We just have this article that just came in. FTX's $10 million wallet activity fuels token dump fears amid bankruptcy saga. Large transfers around $10 million in tokens related to the Solana ecosystem were observed from an FTX wallet, sparking concerns of potential token dumps as the cryptocurrency exchange faces bankruptcy proceedings. FTX proposed selling digital assets with a weekly limit of $100 million to $200 million to minimize market impact, a plan that is expected to be discussed in an upcoming Delaware bankruptcy court hearing on September 13th. So in 9 days, we'll find out if FTX is going to sell $100 to $200 million of crypto a week. That's a lot. Let's check out CoinMarketCap. All right, so Bitcoin is under $25,000 at $25,839.69, down 1.02% in the last 7 days, down 0.32% in the last 24 hours. That's usually more of a fear than greed system right there. So our fear and greed index is at 35, which is quite low. Hello, ID 4129131112 and Razataj 10 and SBD 731. Nice to have you guys with us. So that's Bitcoin. Let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum is at $1,628.39 right now, down 1.21% over the last 7 days, down 0.44% in the last 24 hours. Tether is just shy of $1 as usual. BNB is $215.44. up 0.45% in the last 24 hours, but down 1.34% in the last 7 days. XRP is at 50 cents 24, which I believe is quite low right now for XRP. That's the is that the support? Down 3.18% in the last 7 days, up 0.16% in the last 24 hours. Cardano's ADA is pretty stable, actually, except for the last 7 days, down 3.01% to 25 cents 62. Dogecoin is at 6,317, 6 cents 317, not $6. That would be insane. It's been a long time since Dogecoin was worth more than 6 cents. Yeah, pretty stable. Solana's SOL today is at $19.49. And let's look at the biggest winners and losers over the last 7 days. So biggest winners, Ton from Toncoin, 26.76% up to $1.89. Myota up 16.16% to 0.17. SFP from SafePal up 10.30% to 56 cents 39. XDC up 9.37% to 5 cents 683. Maker is up 8.70% to $1,121.76. And then we get things, let's do this one, it's close to 5%. Rocket Pool's RPL is up 4.54% in the last 7 days, up 10.98% in the last 24 hours to $24. That's kind of crazy. Biggest losers in the last 7 days, Gala from Gala Games is down 15.91% to 1 cent 622, which is not a good sign for them. GMX is down 13.32% to $32.01. HBAR Hedera down 12.97% to 4 cents 844. SWI down 11.20% to 48 cents 23. Pepe down 9.62% in the last 7 days. Curve Dow token, CRV, is down 9.47% to 43 cents 57. ASTR is 8.89% down to 5 cents 347. KCS from KuCoin is down 8.48% to $4.02. But I'm going to stop reading all the downs for the last 7 days. That's quite a few. Rocket Pool is doing quite well in the last 24 hours, up almost 11% to $24. SNX from Synthetics up 8.30% in the last 24 hours to $2.16. XLM from Stellar is up 5.69% to 12 cents 26. Myota up 4.03% in the last 24 hours to 17 cents 16. The biggest losers in the last 24 hours is 5.82% down for Leo. So it's the winners right now are winning a lot more than the losers, but more currencies are losing right now. In the last hour, has anything spectacular happened? Terra Classic went up 1.82% in the last hour. It's the only one moving more than 1%. Biggest losses right now, Flow down 1.02%. It's the only one above 1% movement in the last hour. 43 cents 34. I don't think I've talked about Flow in the last weeks because it was never a top loser or a top winner. So there you have it. That's the crypto market today. Thank you for jumping in and taking a look at everything that happened over the weekend. We talked about NFTs and metaverses having a bad time. And we talked about the SEC being above its normal pay grade, doing things it shouldn't be doing, and the reverse of like the courts taking care of that. So today's been a very interesting day. We talked about the economies in Europe, the UK, China, Asia, and where they're going. So and the global economy for 2024. It's been a pretty full day already. Thank you guys for being with us. See you tomorrow. I'll set up the show for then. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, so that you can jump on and get the notifications when we're live. And once the video is ready for tomorrow, go ahead and click the reminding button so you get a reminder to join and go through the news with us. All right, thank you guys very much. Have a great Monday, and see you guys tomorrow.